Hi, everybody. Welcome to your week 3 assignment. If we're on the week 3 assignment, that means you have passed the halfway point of this course. So kudos for that and how far you've come. We've got this much left to go. So let's knock out this week 3 assignment. For this assignment, they're very specifically focused on robotics. So if that works for you and the way the assignment is written works for you and it speaks to you and matches up with what you do, you are welcome to just follow those directions as they are. But for if it's not really speaking to you, let me give you some additional options. We can expand on what you can write about for this particular paper. So, what is this paper? It does suggest a 4 to 6 page paper. Again, as in previous assignments, I'm more concerned about the quality of what you submit and not the number of pages. So don't stress if you were able to get it done in a different number of pages. That's fine with me. So step 1 is select a topic that lends itself to integration of robotics into the lesson. So that would be a topic that you are teaching. Excuse me. So um, so there's kind of two things. Let me talk about step 2 a little bit because it kind of needs to go with step 1. So to me, for this one, there's two things you're researching for this particular paper. One is how you can integrate um, technology into your lesson. So again, here you can be broader. So let me talk about that. So if robotics doesn't fit with what you teach, that's fine. You can use computer science. You can use coding. You can use Minecraft. I will drop a couple of links into this announcement for teachengineering.org. Lots of free lessons. And cyber.org has a lot of kind of cool lessons too, where you teach maybe some things you hadn't considered. So you might want to take a look at those sites as well if robotics isn't working, and see if you want to approach this differently. So when you do your research, you're researching two things. One, what are some ways I could integrate these technology focused content areas into a lesson that I teach already, or into like a unit. If it makes sense for what you teach to do a unit on coding, then you can do it on coding. So you're looking at what are some lesson ideas? But two, why is it important that we teach these things? Why are we teaching coding? Why is Minecraft valuable to integrate into learning? So remember, you've got to give me the why behind the what. So the why is the research. What is the scholarly evidence that says, why are we even doing this assignment? Why are we asking you to think about ways to integrate this stuff into your teaching? So the why is the research or the foundational scholarly evidence that supports the what. The what is your lesson. So those are the two things that you're going to look into this week in step 2. And then for step 3, um, this one, we can take some liberties with this one. So it talks about 3 ways you can integrate robotics into a lesson. But I mean, there might just be one way to integrate it into a particular lesson. So for our 3 this week, 3 ideas for how to integrate any of these topics. Again, computer science or Minecraft. What are 3 ways you could integrate it? It doesn't have to be into a single lesson. So that'll give you a chance to not dive into a lesson so much, but to think more high level. What are some ways I could pull this stuff into things that I do? Um, and don't worry about the funding piece. If you want to talk about the funding piece, you can, but I don't think it's necessarily relevant to so much of this because so much of the content is online. So if you want to, again, leave it up to you. If you want to talk about funding, I will not be looking for funding in your answer. To me, the important part of this is step 4, the reflection. Well, step 2, tell me how you're integrating into a lesson. But step 4 is really where you're going to give me the narrative and the meat behind this. So make sure that you're answering those questions as it relates to what you selected doing. But when you talk about pros and cons, talk about, again, what is the research? Why are we integrating Minecraft and coding and cyber content? What computer science? Why are we integrating this into lessons? And kind of what would learners get out of it? So this is where you write about the research that you did in step 2. So I hope that helps. I want to make this one short and sweet. Please make sure you are using primary literature to support you. Let's keep working towards that. Edutopia has great content, but it's not scholarly evidence. You want think journal articles and think course videos so that you're pulling in that level of um, again scholarly evidence, so that you're pulling that in. So it's fine to use Edutopia or other things, but just make sure that somewhere in your paper you're also citing some research based content so that I can give you credit for that, as it's noted in the rubric. So hope that helps give you some more ideas for what to write about. Let me know if you are stuck, you have help, need help, have questions, whatever I can do. And I hope you have a good rest of the week.